Fala galera, bem-vindos a mais um vídeo do canal, eu sou o Zach e vamos continuar com talvez, não sei, vamos ver, o último vídeo da nossa série Tangle Tower. Se você estiver gostando do conteúdo, já faz aquele esqueminha, deixa o like, deixa o seu comentário e segue nas redes sociais que estão aqui em cima. Para a vinheta e bora pro vídeo, galera! Então, antes de entrar aqui no laboratório, eu vou aproveitar para terminar de falar com todo mundo, mostrar as pistas para ver se aparece alguma coisa.
Are we done?
For now. It's about time we found out what's beneath the garden.
Tá, aguenta aí.
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
Achei que ela fosse falar alguma coisa. Que aí a gente já fala com todo mundo.
Freya was quite the talent. She had a way of capturing the spirits of her subjects. Not in an evil way, in a good way. These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know. Seems likely though, doesn't it?
Acho que já não tem muito o que falar, né? A gente já tinha falado com a Fifi, vamos falar com a Pop.
Hey, that's me. Not a bad likeness.
It looks like you're standing in a rose bush.
Is there something wrong with that?
Não, ué. Vocês que lutem, tem mais o que fazer. Vamos ver.
Very nice. You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them? Even this one?
Yes.
Tadinha da Penny. Vamos aqui. Falar com o professor.
What's this? Is it a clue?
É,
We
uma
don't actually
pista.
know. But Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
These were drawn by Freya? She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it.
Não sei, ué. Se você não sabe, quem sou eu pra saber? Vamos aqui no Fix.
Fitz, one of these drawings is of you, in the rooftop garden, I think, with Poppy.
Mm-hmm. Are we done?
Nossa. Eu achei que tinha mais coisa pra mostrar, sendo bem honesto. Nossa, pra ela tem.
A book from the library. One of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that.
Ok, né? As pernas.
Do you also have a pile of leaves as a clue?
Oh, not yet. Did you see some
Para.
suspicious leaves?
Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see.
Passa provavelmente fugiu, né?
When did Freya draw the picture of you, Hawkshaw?
I didn't model for her, if that's what you're asking. She must have done it without my permission.
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others anyway.
What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you go back and double-check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
I'm not so sure about that.
One of 3 statues depicting the same creature. This one is wearing headphones. Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're not headphones. They're earmuffs, for blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music.
Ah, já cansei de falar com esse povo, sabe? Eu vou lá pro jardim.
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
Então vamos pra baixo. Eita. Abaixo.
What a mess.
Any idea what this is all about?
Vamos olhar.
Is that a periodic table?
No, but it does kind of look like one.
What are those symbols?
They're alchemic symbols. Mostly based on the planets, the sun, the moon, stuff like that.
Huh. Reminds me of the chart from the library.
The one from the chalkboard.
Sim.
Yeah. This looks like it was drawn in a hurry.
Didn't we see those same symbols in the greenhouse?
Tá, né?
A cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms. Each one has 1 or 2 insects inside. I can't tell if they're still alive.
Provavelmente não.
I like that you called them rooms.
What's in there?
Achei que ia ser um puzzle.
9 beetles. All different, all dead.
Todos
Poor little
esquisitos.
There's a bunch of around them. It's mostly numbers. No idea what they mean. It's a little diagram of a beetle, with some incomprehensible notes scribbled next to it.
That's weird.
What?
Muito.
It looks really normal compared to the beetles behind the glass.
É, né?
Forensic Entomology, Volume 3.
That's an incredibly specific area of study.
Será que esse daqui é o laboratório daquele professor?
Seems likely, doesn't it? Weird looking safe.
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
Acho que depois de tanta luta, é isso aqui.
That's the one.
Hey, not bad.
Nossa, foi chatinho montar isso aqui, hein?
Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
Uma pasta contendo anotações e diagramas de pesquisa. 1. Nossa fauna e flora singulares são subprodutos de vários produtos químicos ainda não identificados. 2. Esses produtos químicos estão continuamente presentes na água, formando nuvens e enchendo o lago. Isso causa uma variedade de mutações em plantas e animais. 3. Criaturas menores como aracnídeos, insetos, moluscos, anfíbios e crustáceos são as mais afetadas. Entretanto, os produtos químicos podem subir pelos níveis tróficos e causar mutações em pássaros e répteis. Até onde sabemos, mamíferos ainda não são afetados. Tá, né?
Whose research is this?
De quem essa pesquisa? Essa pesquisa é provavelmente do professor.
This is some seriously in-depth research.
It's impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a section missing.
É, daquela folha que a gente achou no laboratório, né? Na torre de astronomia.
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Sim.
Definitely seems like he's the one using it.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who's he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you
Nossa,
think
esse
he's
troço
trying
tá
to
durando,
do
hein?
exactly?
Pointer. Não. Estava tentando reproduzir o besouro dourado no laboratório secreto.
Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is
Exato.
that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I
Exato.
think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
Ready to go down? Again?
Vamos descer mais, meu Deus.
Basements don't normally have windows?
We're at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed, why does it look like that?
Like what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything. That's not what a lake looks like.
Eita, mais
Where are we?
Basements don't
Or
normally...
we must
Right, but if
like what?
white, no plant, that's not what a lake looks like.
Vamos ver
A
o que tem
single
aqui.
book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
É, pouquinho.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
Livro infantil. Místidos do Mar e Céu. Livro ilustrado infantil, parece bem antigo. O Borratintos. Pássaro elegante de plumagem vermelha e branca. A cobra argenta. Réptil aquático sem olhos com uma longa língua. Ogarralma. Caranguejo com garras de 3 diferentes tamanhos. Hipertraque. Uma criatura bípede similar a um sapo.
We're too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why? By what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
Será que foi o mesmo que... Uma vara lisa e resistente de metal foi usada para furar uma fotografia. Tem uma ponta curvada como uma flecha ou um ponteiro de relógio. Tem um pequeno círculo atrás com um pedaço de corda velha amarrado. O metal está perfeitamente limpo e polido. Será que...
So what's the photo?
Eita! Foi moldurada, mas está um pouco úmida. A foto mostra uma jovem garota. Um homem enorme senta-se a seu lado. Em volta dela, vários pássaros vermelhos e brancos. Um objeto de metal furou a foto, deixando o buraco próximo ao peito do homem. Nossa, isso só fica mais sinistro.
Do you know who it is? In the photo?
Lago.
Did
Fala
you
sobre o
notice how
lago.
much light this room has? For a room with one candle?
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late.
Sinistro.
This man in the photo, he reminds me of something from one of our clues.
Isso aqui. É o cara que tá emoldurado nesse negócio aqui.
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Será que ele é o
Yeah.
pai da Flora?
Makes sense when you know who he is.
Lord Hamilton.
Lord Remington.
Remington. That makes him Flora's father, meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah,
Não,
it's
é
her.
óbvio.
See the bird too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know.
Verdade.
I don't think she looks so different. There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can reach it.
Let me guess. Blank.
Uma planta.
Storage.
It's Freya's room.
That name makes a little more sense in this context.
A bedroom.
Penny's room, I think. Music room. That's the room we're in now. It must be.
Sim.
It's not labeled as anything on these plans, though.
I think it already existed when this was made.
Escritório? A gente não foi nesse lugar.
Study. Wait.
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never went in there.
How did we miss it?
The Grand Hall.
What's that thing in the middle?
I think it's that big glass tube.
Aquele aquário.
This seems pretty significant.
Agreed.
Mansão Místida. Travessa da ala norte. Um rolo de pergaminho onde a planta para a enorme mansão foi desenhada. Uma linha horizontal marca onde o lago costumava ser e onde é agora. A mansão foi construída sobre uma grande estrutura no meio do lago, suportada por pilastras. O quarto de Freya é listado como depósito. Um cômodo intitulado escritório está no centro.
Let's head back up to the Grand Hall. I want to find that last room.
Vamos lá. Um tal de escritório. Nossa, tá tudo escuro.
Wow, it's dark all of a sudden.
Que estranho.
How long were we down there?
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
How are we supposed to get up there?
Hang on, it's pitch black, but I think there's a switch.
Puxa. Eita. Gente, será que a Freya tá aqui escondida?
A ladder.
Wanna go up?
Sim, vamos subir. Nossa, fica mais sinistro. Eu nem sei mais o que é isso.
Who are all the people in this photo?
Not sure, but it looks like someone didn't like them very much. Their eyes have all been crossed out.
Isso está escrito no diário da Freya. Uma foto e uma moldura resistente de madeira. Está empoeirada e parece bem antiga. Numa placa de latão sob ela, lê-se: os embaixadores da mansão Místida. A foto mostra 2 mulheres e 3 homens, usando uma grande variedade de estilos de roupa. Todas as 5 pessoas tiveram seus rostos rabiscados com tinta preta. Tá, né? Essa daqui parece que é a mãe da Pop, né? Aqui, vamos lá. Essa aqui parece a mãe da Pop. Esse aqui, pai do Félix. Os outros já não sei. Esse daqui deve ser do Fitz.
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
Vamos descobrir aqui então. 5
Another
pessoas.
photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
Não.
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You can actually see its insides.
Also, crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3?
Vamos ver isso.
You sure we should be touching it?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
Perfect.
Foi. O que será que tem aqui, gente?
What's this?
Something somebody didn't want us to find.
Uma besta.
What is it?
Was someone trying to hide it? From us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
A gente achou.
We found them already.
Por exemplo, aqui vem aquele carretel.
I think that might attach the crossbow, but not
Well,
this
no.
part of the crossbow.
A gente tem essa lente. A gente tem o carretel. E por último, mas não menos importante, a vara.
What do you make of it?
É a arma
Not
do
sure.
crime.
Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder
Eu
weapon?
acho que é.
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon. But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery.
An axe and some kind of hunting rifle, mounted on the wall.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved in a few years.
I'm more worried about the third one.
The third one?
The one that isn't there.
A besta.
An incinerator built into the wall. It's still pretty hot.
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes. But yeah, there's something.
A pena. Nada além de uma pilha de poeira e cinzas. Junto a essas cinzas, vários botões pretos. Restos de tecido vermelho ainda são visíveis. E a pena também, gente.
Watch out. Floor's wet.
Thanks. It's a wooden pinboard, hung up on one of the chains.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
Que? A Rockshaw. Um grande pedaço de papel está pendurado no meio. 3 linhas foram desenhadas de uma lacuna no centro. Um pedaço de papel menor logo abaixo mostra um desenho que lembra uma figura encapotada. A Freya pegou aquele desenho daqui.
They called this room a study?
What would you call it?
The secret death chamber of dragon?
Snake?
Worm?
That's the one. Those aren't bird cages.
Some of them are disconcertingly large.
At least they're all empty.
You sure that's a good thing? Centipede? Millipede? How many legs has it got?
Too many.
Coffee table, half-empty wine bottle, lamp left on. I'm gonna say someone's been using this room.
Com certeza.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
Várias páginas foram arrancadas, mas algumas ainda persistem. Quinto embaixador localizado, finalmente. Não posso dizer que estava otimista, mas com certeza gerou decepção, nada superior ao restante. Levei meu amigo Mistério até o salão de música para experimentos. Funciona, talvez até bem demais. O laboratório foi outra decepção. Todo aquele esforço, para quê? Ele é ainda mais incapaz de enxergar o que eu esperava. Foi até o fundo, bela vista. Foi quase completamente limpo, mas eu consegui o que eu queria. Ela entrou, fui cuidadosa, não mexeu em nada, mas eu sei, chegou a hora. Eita!
Someone's been using this room. I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion, but nowadays it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
Uma e a
The
Freya.
way the notebook was left out on the table.
O
makes me
rabisco
think
também é o
it's
mesmo que
someone
fez
who has the
o desenho
room
da
all
Rockshaw.
to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
Zé, aquele desenho não foi a Freya, ela tirou daqui. E isso aqui, eu acho que é aquela foto de referência. Olha só, até mesmo a foto, a Rockshaw lembra foto.
The painting from Freya's room and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
Somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else. Someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down.
Exato. Não ajuda em
Should
nada.
we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
I'm not sure. I still don't know what's really going on.
to solve this.
Vamos resolver isso então.
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all
Vambora.
together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon.
Com
I'm
certeza.
sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
Sim.
It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was
Sim.
it fired from?
Foi por cima,
It was fired from
por aquele buraco que a
above
gente viu.
Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Exato.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait. The arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope. Doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless
Que ela já tenha caído no chão, gente.
Freya was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
Algo fez ela e a Flora
So
caírem.
too.
Ela caiu inconsciente.
She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
O gramofone, por isso que ele tá
The
rachado.
gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
Tinha alguma coisa dentro dele.
There was something in the gramophone.
Something small.
Algo pequeno, como o besouro.
Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the
Exato.
time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
Ah, foi,
No.
foi amplificado
I don't think so,
pelo
not by
gramofone.
itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. And I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda
Por isso que tá
scientific.
rachado.
Since when do you know anything about the effects of
Tanto a
weaponized
fita
audio
quanto o
frequency?
gramofone.
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The hornet's playing.
Verdade.
It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone.
Aquilo foi
That broken glass
teste.
isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that.
Eu não sei.
It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too.
Os potes de tinta da Freya.
Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's
Sim,
some
achou
seriously powerful vibration, enough to crack metal, enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
Ele estava usando aquele fone de ouvido.
They protected themselves.
How?
Com abafador, cadê ele? Aqui.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the
Sim,
gramophone.
aquela
2.
fita.
The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
Exato.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah, what triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
Não, pode ser.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations.
Exato.
Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it.
Só fica mais
There's something
estranho.
bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene.
Vamos lá.
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
Não tô entendendo mais nada. Ah, finalmente. Tinha que só ver todas as pistas. A pista perdida.
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink dip feather?
Sim.
It was here, in this room. Where'd it go?
Encontramos em outro
Found
lugar.
it somewhere else.
Cadê aquela cinza? Aqui.
We were a little too late, David.
So it was stolen from the crime scene.
Sim.
And ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Não sei.
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
É.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access?
Hã?
The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here.
Está na pintura.
It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it, and then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it, but she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
Aqui, no pincel e a paleta.
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need
Exatamente, tudo que
before
ela
she started
precisava.
painting.
E ela não usou o amarelo em nada. A tinta amarela. Seria usado para pintar esse desenho de algo na janela.
Paint was going to be used to paint
Eu não
the
tenho amarelo em nada
sketch of
nessa. Eu
something
falei
sitting
isso
in
no
the
primeiro
window.
vídeo.
Something in the window. Oh.
Que é o pássaro da Penny. Ali, ele tá aqui agora, ó.
There she is. Our little thief.
Ela pegou a pena.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did,
Rockshaw?
but she's a very good listener.
Gente, a Rockshaw tá aqui.
Well now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
Hã?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind.
Ué?
But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention?
Tá, amarra a mão dela. Com esse troço aqui.
Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
Caramba, quem diria que essa é ela? Eu só queria
I
descobrir a
just
verdade.
need to know the truth.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
Hã?
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy, the volition to create something from nothing, the willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
Ah, mas por
You know
que você
what?
matou ela?
I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook.
Não.
Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer?
Ela é uma assassina.
Suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy, not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other 2 Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more
não consigo
questions
falar nada,
I
gente.
asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
O escritório.
Study. The one hidden in the middle of the house.
Aquela fornalha
It's
da
right
parede.
next to a bedroom.
I hear
Exato.
voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end. The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside.
A era da mansão mística.
Let's see how thorough you've been.
Ok.
Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
Mistids? Sure, yeah.
You're more observant than I thought.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids. Like cryptids? Like Bigfoot or
Meu
whatever.
Deus.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
A foto?
The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mystids. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5, completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision. There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
O besouro dourado.
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure. But I theorized that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in, and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
She carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique?
Não consigo
Before
falar nada, de
Misted
novo.
Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
Exatamente, eu não explico o motivo. O testamento de Freya Fellow. Tá, né? Vamos.
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya
Sim, a
painted?
gente viu.
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's
Isso que a Freya
recurring
quis dizer com
nightmare.
carne e osso
For all
no
her
diário.
vitality. I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the Beatles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all 3 families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened. Before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
Provavelmente.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of the room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I
E ela que ela
suppose. Gave
botou
them something
sangue.
to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
Esse tempo todo ele tava ali. Nossa, barulho. Realmente, dá pra entender porque o pessoal ficou inconsciente. Barulhinho chato. Eita.
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You
O
were
que
both
aconteceu?
unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle?
Nossa.
In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fitz saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Não é?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What?
Ela
Did
morreu?
she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor
Tadinho.
little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
Ué?
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again.
Achei justo.
I think that's what she would have wanted.
Aí, gente. Então acabou essa série, né? Foi uma série menor do que a do Steven, mas foi legal. Enfim, acompanha as outras séries do canal, se inscreve no canal, deixa aquele like para dar um apoio pro canal. Me segue na Twitch, tô fazendo umas lives legal, tô rumo ao afiliado, talvez quando você estiver assistindo esse vídeo eu já tenha chegado lá. E é isso aí, gente. Muito obrigado e até a próxima.